Hey everybody, how you doing today? Mark here, standing in my kitchen, ready to make just a little bit of a snack today. And what I want to do is, if you remember a few weeks ago, I went on a cheese run on the motorcycle. We went into Monroe and bought some squeaky cheese. That was a really good cheese. It did not last long in this house, I can tell you that. But it did allow me to do a little bit of experimentation on making my own cheese curds. And that's what I want to do today. So I have another packet of cheese curds. This is not squeaky cheese, okay? When it comes to making fried cheese curds, you don't need squeaky cheese, okay? You just need a good cheese curd. That's all you need. And I have here a yellow cheddar cheese, and you can use any semi-soft cheese you want, really. The cheddars are fine, either white or yellow. The jack cheeses are fine, Monterey Jack, Colby Jack, stuff like that. Brick is really good. And even, I think one of the best cheese curds I've ever had was butter cassé cheese. And oh, that was amazing. But so yeah, just any real semi-firm cheese curd will work, okay? Even if you buy it in a block and you cut it up yourself, it doesn't actually have to be in a curd like this. Just get the block, cut it up in maybe 1.5 inch cubes, okay? And you'll be good to go. But let me show you what I've got laid out on the counter, other than just the cheese. Okay, so the recipe I'm going to do is actually for, this is a 12-ounce package, which is fine. You can use a 16-ounce package. A lot of the recipes I was seeing online call for a 2-pound pack, but I'm only going to make this recipe for a 1 pound. So I got about a pound of cheese curd. I'm only going to use 1 cup of beer. And I've seen many different types of beer being used, from light beers all the way to stouts. So it just kind of depends on how strong of a beer taste you want on your cheese curd. I am not a big beer person, but I do like beer battered stuff like cheese curds and fish. So I've got I have no idea what this really is. Oh, it's just an ale. Says right there, ale. And that's also a Wisconsin brewery too. I'm going to need 1 cup of flour. I think I need 2 tablespoons of baking powder, not soda, baking powder. And then a teaspoon of kosher salt. Now, in my little bit of research that I've done on making cheese curds, and what I would consider to be true, authentic Wisconsin style curd, it is always a batter dip, okay? It is never breaded. If you get something that has a breading on it, you know, just little crunchy bits of breading like a panko or just breadcrumb, that to me is not Wisconsin style cheese curds, okay? It's either a batter dip or it could be a buttermilk and egg dip, okay? But either way, I would accept those as true Wisconsin style cheese curds. All right, this is not very hard to do, so let's get into this. Okay, so on my stove here, I've got a nice stout pot, 2 to 3 quart range, somewhere in there. And this is a quart of old, already used vegetable oil. And in fact, this is the oil that I use to do all my test cooking with the cheese curds. So I am just going to use it again. Just pour it in the pot. About a quart is enough, because you're not going to be cooking the whole batch of curds all at once, okay? You're just going to do maybe 6 to 8 curds at a time, okay? That's all you're going to do. And then I'm going to turn the kettle or the pot onto high, and it's going to take a long time to heat up, but I need a special tool. Let me show you what that tool is. Okay, this is the special tool. It is a candy thermometer, okay? Don't worry about mercury. They cannot put mercury into thermometers anymore. It's just a colored dye in water, I think is all it is. and we need to get it up to 375 to 400 degrees, somewhere in there. If it's any lower than that, you really don't get the crispness on the breading, and it just kind of is a little bit mushy. So get up to at least 375, 400 I think would be preferable. Okay, so there's a little clip on the back of your thermometer. You're just going to hook that over the edge, and then make sure that it's all the way down as far as it will go, and then we'll just watch the mercury, or the red line start growing all the way up to here. Okay, but while the oil is heating up down there, we can get a bowl and we can start mixing in our beer batter. So let's get down here and I'll show you what I got going on. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut open my package of cheese. And I want to dump it out on this plate and just make sure that everything is all broken up, that I don't have a lot of curds sticking together. So yeah, just kind of break them apart a little bit as they come out. You can see that there are a lot of different sizes of the curd, and that's fine. So as you can see, curds come in different sizes and shapes, and that's fine. It does not really change the cooking time or anything like that, so don't worry about that. Okay, so into the bowl we will take our beer, measure out a cup, okay, I'm going to let that head come down a little bit, and while that's doing that, I'm going to measure out my cup of flour. Don't have to be real precise, so you don't have to do the whole scoop and sweep thing like you would in baking. So I got that in there. I'm going to do my 2 teaspoons of baking powder. One, 2. And then I want a teaspoon of kosher salt. Okay, the head's come down a little bit, so I'm going to keep pouring until I get to my 1 cup line. And there we go. Just pour the beer on top. Gonna grab myself a whisk and just start stirring it together. I know you're not really seeing much because of the bubbles, but they'll come down. They will. All right, that is our batter. As if you look real close, you can probably see a few chunks. Don't worry about them. Yeah, don't worry about the chunks that are in the batter. You know, they're pretty small and they do cook out, so don't worry about it. All right, look back down here. I'm sorry guys, I forgot to hit the record button. I've dumped all the cheese curds from the plate. I just dumped them right into the batter and I just stirred them up to get everything coated. All right, so that's looking great. I like that. Okay, let's go down here and check the oil and see how the temperature is doing. All right, so it's looking like it's about 295 right now, coming up under the 300 mark. So yeah, it does take a little while for the oil to come up to temperature, but that's all right. That cheese can just sit in that batter all day long. It doesn't really do it any harm. All right, we'll just keep on waiting for that to reach 400. Okay, you're also going to want to get a draining system set up for your cheese curds. That way the oil drips away from the curd and it doesn't make your batter all soggy. So just a nice standard cake cooling rack, cookie rack, whatever you want to call them, with a sheet pan underneath just to catch all the oil that drips off. And then I'll use just a slotted spoon, or you can even use a spider to actually take the curd out of the oil and place it on the cooling rack. Cool? Okay, let's get into this. All right, we're getting up to about 350 right now, so we're getting close. All right, guys, let's see. We're up to about 385, so that's great. I can start cooking on that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to stir this up just a little bit and get some of these pieces really well coated, and then just drop them right in the oil. They only sit in here for like a minute, so try to work kind of fast. And like I said, you're only dropping maybe like 6 in at a time. They do sink to the bottom, and that's fine. And just give it maybe like, I don't know, maybe like 15 seconds. And if they don't pop loose from the bottom, use your spider or your slotted spoon and just bring them up. Then just give them another another 30 seconds to cook, and you'll be good. Now you will get things like this, and that's just batter that has come off, you know, dribbled off of the spoon or something like that, or off the fork. Okay, that's it. There, these are done. Look at that, nice golden brown, yummy. If you leave them in too long, they will start blowing up and squirting cheese out into your oil. So do not leave them in there for too long. That one almost did it. Okay, now normally, yep, see my temperature dropped. So I'm down to 365. So now I gotta wait for that oil to come back up to temperature. If you use a larger vessel, you know, like a really big stock pot, you don't have to worry about that because there's so much oil in there that it kind of absorbs all that cold cheese going into there. So the temperature drop isn't all that massive. Yeah, that's the bad side. You know, now I gotta wait for this to heat back up again. Here, I'll show you this. Listen to this, a little bit of a crunch. God, that was so good. And then if we were to pull it open, look at that. These are awesome, guys. Okay, getting ready to do another batch here. Again, make sure I stir it, make sure everything's nicely coated. Let's get one of these big pieces in there. Again, I'm just going to give them just a couple of seconds to cook on the bottom there, and then I'm just going to go around and stir them all up. Oh, got a couple that stuck together, but that's fine. I've seen people that try to flip them and rotate them. You really can't do that. You know, you can maybe sink them down with your spoon or something like that, but that's about it. All right. And boom, just like that, they're done, guys. Well, yep, one of them popped open and pushed out all their cheese. That's why it started doing that. So that one right there has no cheese in it. That's why I say you got to do this really quick. It's boom, boom. You know, put them in, take them out. One more thing, guys. Think of this. If you get like the flavored cheese curds, you can get like taco, jalapeno, Italian, Southwest, Cajun, smoked cheeses, you know, the cheddar cheeses and stuff like that. Use those. Up that flavor level even higher, okay? Plus, you don't have to worry about flavored cheeses either, because you can flavor the batter as well. Use onion powders and garlic powders and seasoned salts, and put your favorite chicken seasoning blend into the batter mix. It would be great. It really would. And sit there on game day. You might have to miss out on a little bit of action, but start frying some up just before halftime, and make sure that they're on the table nice and hot and fresh when the halftime hits. You will be the talk of the group. I guarantee it. All right, let's do another batch here. All right, that was my 6. Give them just a couple of seconds. Oh, got a couple stuck together. Got to break them apart as best I can. There we go. Almost done. And boom, there we go. It does not take long, guys. Does not take long at all. Okay, now I gotta wait for the oil to come back up to temperature again, because I'm using just a small little pot. Again, use a bigger vessel, more oil, the temperature drop won't be so severe. But I am going to take a little bit of time and clear out some of this larger debris stuff in here, just like that. And then just drop it over here. And actually, those are really good to eat. Just let them cool down a little bit, and then I'll sit there and just nom, 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 nom. I tell you guys, these things are awesome, and what makes them even better, a little bit of ranch dressing or barbecue sauce or something like that. Yeah, it's really good. Nothing like fresh, hot cheese curds. Oh. So I've got my lunch here, guys. And thanks for watching. I'll see you on the road. Bye.